about myself. You can see a little bit about me here, and you just heard a little bit from Nicole as well. I'll start with the obvious, which is that I come from a very wiener-friendly household, as you can see. And also that I have an incredible best friend who sort of humors me and plays my reindeer games all the time. And up top, I'll draw your attention to a picture of me in my former life. And that's when I was a writer and a magazine editor for a magazine that covered horse racing. And that's me getting the scoop at a racetrack in Ontario. And I'd like to point out this picture just to say that while I do consider myself to be a professional writer, I am definitely an amateur speaker. So I do appreciate the opportunity to be here today and to be in front of you. Now, the reason I am in front of you today is sort of a long story, and I'm going to try to keep it short-ish. But it all started for me, my path started about 5 years ago when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And to tackle this problem, my doctors and I chose that we do a surgical course of action, and that would be that I have a double mastectomy and an immediate breast reconstruction done right away. And the plan was that we were going to take some excess tissue from my abdomen, and spoiler alert, there was some to take, and we were going to transplant that up and remake me some breasts using my own tissue. And I'll digress here just for 1 minute to say that that decision allowed me to live out every girl's fantasy of standing naked in front of a couple surgeons while they debate whether you're fat enough to have a certain procedure. And I think it can't get any worse than that, it can, but it's not a debate. They actually come to a quick consensus that you are in fact fat enough. Now, that surgery is one very long and involved surgery. It's 10 to 12 hours, but the benefit is that when you're done, you're done. It's that one surgery, one recovery, get back to life as soon as possible. And that was really appealing to me. And I also like the sound of it when the doctor said, think of it like this. You'll go to sleep with boobs. You'll wake up with boobs. And I thought, okay, let's do that one. That one sounds nice. And unfortunately, this sleeping beauty fantasy I had in my head didn't turn out to be my reality. I did, in fact, wake up with boobs, but shortly thereafter, I developed a series of really bizarre complications. And suddenly, my one surgery became 6 surgeries with collapsed veins, blood transfusions, blood clots, and ultimately, both of these newly reconstructed breasts needed to be removed as well. And as I joked with my surgeon at the time, you know it's been a bad week when you've had yourself a quadruple mastectomy. Now, all these complications were very rare and extremely unexpected. I'm not smart enough at math to really calculate the odds of everything that happened, but I know there were about 5 things that had the 1% of chance of happening, and they all happened. And they were no one's fault, there was nothing to blame, it was just bad luck. But within that situation where there was so much bad luck, there was a lot of good too. And most of that came from how I was treated by the members of my healthcare team. And that despite the problems I encountered or any of the disappointment I felt, they somehow managed to make me feel cared for, and maybe even more importantly, cared about every step of the way. And it sort of shook out like this for me, as I could handle that things didn't go according to plan, because unfortunately someone has to be that 1%. But when that's the case, and it's you, it became really important to feel that such a disappointment affected you as well as me. And that it wasn't just another day at the office or win some, lose some, we'll get them next time. And my doctors and nurses were absolutely amazing on that score. I remember my surgeon saying to me, this is awful for me too. The failure of this weighs heavily on me, and it upsets me. And I appreciated this so much, you know, just that lessening of the detachment from the situation, but also that feeling that, well, if we were going to be a team, then at least to some extent, my wins should be your wins, but our losses should be shared as well. And it was also the frankness and the honesty of those words, and that feeling that it wasn't just following some sort of script of maybe what you should say in a given circumstance. It was real. And I had so many examples of this along the way, being real, being candid. I remember remember another time I was waiting to go in for a certain procedure, and I asked, relatively speaking, how painful this one was going to be. And the resident said to me, I wouldn't know. I've never had this done to me. But I can tell you what other women have told me. This may seem like a small thing or a throwaway comment in the course of your day, but I can tell you that these moments of authenticity add up to something. And generally speaking, you can tell when someone's going through the motions of caring versus actually caring. On the flip side, I've had sort of maybe that well-meaning but a little bit detached intern sort of come up to you and robotically pat your arm and say, there, this too shall pass. And I can tell you it doesn't have nearly the same impact. And sometimes that communication piece isn't there for you, and you miss it when it's gone. I remember almost immediately after waking up from one of my surgeries, I was asked to try to sit up. Now, sitting up for me at that point in time wasn't really in the cards. I had fresh incisions across both my entire chest and abdomen, and I was dealing with the loss of some of my abdominal muscles from one of the surgeries. And I said, I don't think I can sit up. Without further explanation, two people who I had never seen before sort of accordioned me into the position they wanted. And it unleashed a level of pain I never felt before or since then. And to this day, I don't know who those people were or why that needed to be done. But I'll always remember the confusion and the pain of those few moments. Now, I'll bet you $1 billion that was going to be painful one way or the other. But a few words of explanation or introduction would have gone a long way to lessening that confusion and maybe giving me the opportunity to take a deep breath or brace myself before that pain came. And from what I've learned about patient-centered care since then, I know maybe that didn't hit the mark. But so many other instances I had along the way were in the bullseye. And you'll also remember those ones forever. A couple that stand out for me one was during a very scary moment for me in the surgical union. It was after my first really long surgery. And after about a 20-hour day at the hospital, my husband had just been sent home, getting me all clear to go as I slept. A short time after that, I developed some excessive bleeding, and plans were made to take me back into the operating room for an emergency surgery. And I was just conscious enough to be aware and unnerved by the urgency in that room. And there was a surgical resident there, and it became her job to sort of wait with me until the OR was ready. And there was a little bit of delay in that, so we were passing the time together. And she talked to me, and she didn't pretend like everything was fine, and she didn't pretend like she wasn't a little worked up about this delay. And she left me briefly to go and phone my husband and let him in on what was going on. He was unlikely to make it back to the hospital in time, and he asked to speak to me. Now, to say the least, he was unimpressed to not be making it back to the hospital, and even more so when he was told they couldn't get a phone over to where I was. And so this resident, and it's not that he was expecting to have a real conversation with me, I think he just thought that I maybe needed to hear something from him before I was taken away. And the resident came back to me and delivered a message from him verbatim in the first person as though he was there. You're not alone, I'm here, I will see you soon, and I love you. And then she faithfully took the message back to him in the same way. And she did it with the emotion and significance with which it was intended, and in fact she was so convincing, and probably because I was a little bit out of it, I didn't even really know that he wasn't there the whole time. And this stands out for me because she was not going through the motions. This was not, yeah, I'll pass along the message. This was her understanding with great compassion that she was playing a role in what was an incredibly important and precarious moment in our lives. And she took this part of it, this patient-centered piece, just as seriously as she took the other clinical preparations for my emergency surgery. In short, she treated the person, not just the body, and understood that patient care is both an art and a science. In another instance, I remember my surgeon taking the time to make sure I understood what had happened to me. Now, she had already been through this explanation once with my husband, but this was going to be the first time in days where I was either conscious enough or lucid enough to meaningfully participate in the conversation myself. And so she came back at a time I was able to have that conversation. The fact that the day I was prepared to have that conversation was Christmas Day didn't seem to matter to her. She made sure that I was included, and she did not just rely on my family to fill in the blanks for me. Now, as she was leaving my room that day, she passed my other surgeon coming into the room. And he sort of smiled and shook his head at her in faux exasperation. And when he got to my bedside, he said, "I came to talk to you today because she was supposed to be here," which I think encapsulates two very thoughtful actions at the same time. And these examples, these actions I've been talking about, these instances, every single one of them removed a barrier between us and reinforced that confidence and trust I had in these people in the first place. And when you get pretty far away from the original game plan, like we did in my case, really as a patient, all you're left with are the people in front of you, hoping that communication and trust will see you through. And it did. And one final moment I'd like to share with you today was in the surgical unit as I waited to go in for one of my last surgeries. And up until this point, I had been pretty good at rolling with the punches throughout all these complications. I unfortunately had had the perspective of losing my dad to pancreatic cancer shortly before all this happened. And so my problems had always seemed somewhat small and fixable compared to his situation. But for whatever reason, on this day, this crazy sequence of events sort of caught up with me. And I was sitting with one of the nurses who had been by my side throughout, and she asked me how I was doing, but without my usual joking demeanor. I said, "You know, this is bullshit." And I guess I was expecting her to say something like, "It'll be okay," or "hang in there," or "God forbid, this too shall pass." But she looked at me and she emphatically said, "Yep, this is bullshit." And it was perfect, and it was real, and "this is bullshit" was more comforting to me than any cheerleading she could have done or any explanation she could have given me. And a few months after this, I was at home and I went to the mailbox and I got one of those exit surveys in the mail, inquiring about the care I had received while I was in the hospital. And I sat down with it and I took it very seriously and I answered every question, and it came out to be a glowing review. And I sort of laughed at first at all the problems I had encountered and how that didn't really correlate in my head to this extremely positive feedback I was going to hand in. And when I stopped laughing about it, I started to think about how special that was. And so what I always come back to in this is that things don't have to go perfectly, but I do need to feel like we're in this together, good or bad. And I know we can navigate a lot of bumps in the road when we feel acknowledged and supported by members of your healthcare team. And thinking back on that survey one last time, I think it's so important to not have that tunnel vision or that knee-jerk reaction to laugh like I did. Because it's not a linear relationship, this thought that a good outcome equals good care or a bad outcome equals bad care. Because it's absolutely not the case. There's no absolutes in any of this, and I can tell you that there can be less than perfect care and perfect outcomes, as well as outstanding care along rocky roads. And sometimes the difference between the two on that continuum can just be found in sincerity, these principles of patient-centered care we talk about, and these moments of authenticity.